Hey there! Today's lecture, and it is a lecture, is going to be how to make one of these. It is a very cool wood chicken, and these are great to carve around the campfire, and let's get started and I'll show you how to do that, okay? Right then, first of all, let's talk about this stick. This is a seasoned stick. This happens to be just a piece of hedgerow, actually. This is cypress. But it makes absolutely no difference as long as it is seasoned. Applewood is one of the best, but you get what you use and you use what you get. So, what you're looking for is something about pencil to finger thickness, and this side shoot here is again a little bit thicker than a pencil, nothing to worry about. Dry, dry, dry. Okay, in order to make this into a chicken, first thing we have to do is we have to start the legs. Basically what we're going to do, this is going to be the body and neck of the chicken. The head is going to be in here. This is going to end up being the tail, and the feet are going to be down here. So the first thing we need to do is we need to create the chicken or the cockerel is feet. So we're going to turn our stick through 90 degrees. Now you can see this tail is sticking back towards me, and we're going to cut in and down. Okay, like this. We're going to turn it over, and we're going to do the same again on the back. Nice and tight. So what we've done is we've thinned it like this. Just to show you that, I'm going to peel off on both sides that little bit of wood. Okay, so we now have slender, slender, white, white, okay? And what we're going to do now is take the tip of our blade, just the tip, and we're going to go in the legs and down a couple of times. We'll turn them over and do the same again. And we'll come back to that bit in a bit. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to come up here, and we need to cut this body at 90 degrees to here. So this is how this side looks. So it's wide, thin. We're going to cut this so it's wide, thin. So I'm going to turn my blade over. I'm going to turn my blade over. I'm going to put my thumb on the back of the blade, and I'm going to gently move my knife down. And the same the other side. The other way that you can do this is turn the blade over, put your thumb on the back, and use what's called a chest lever grip. And this way you'll affect the same, but it'll require less effort. And it's nice and safe because there's no safe follow through. A good rule when you're using a knife, especially in this respect, is to say, what if I slip? What would happen? What if I slip? Could I cut myself? Okay? I learnt that tip from a very good old survival instructor called Morskahansky. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, now we've flattened it both sides, is we're going to square off the head. The 1 or 2 large cuts. So now what we have is a flat head, like this. Okay, so flat feet, flat head. Let's now go back to the legs that we saw earlier. What I'm going to do is turn my blade over, gently putting it in here. I'm going to whittle out by just using this. As you can see, I'm not cutting towards myself. I'm keeping anything that might be valuable, my nose, my face, my fingers, my thumbs, my schoolmates, all behind the edge of the blade, so that we're not going to injure ourselves in inelastic collision, i.e. we put the blade in, we pull it, and then it ends up in somebody's eye. So just going backwards and forwards, keep turning it over, just keep continuing to cut like this, nice and easy. As you can say, minimal like this, and as you can see, we're starting to create the rooster's legs. Okay, so here's his legs. Right, what we've got now then, just show you the legs. As you saw, I was making this cut here. We've now got two separated legs on the bottom of our rooster. The top half of the rooster is going to be cut a bit like a screwdriver. We've made those two cuts earlier, but I'm just going to sharpen the front of the body, flatten the front and the back. The reason I'm going to do that is because that's where I'm going to carve the face. Now, I'm going to come in on the rooster here, and gently, by rocking the blade, gently rocking the blade, no force intended, I'm going to cut a V. Okay, it's good to hum when you're carving, capture concentrate. There we go. So there's a little V. I'm going to follow up, come up about, well, maybe a millimetre, and then we're going to make another cut. Notice I'm keeping my thumb well out of the way here. I'm going to make another cut like this. There we are. And the problem is you can't glue stuff back on again once you cut it off, so you're going to go very careful. Just going to widen this lower cut somewhat. Okay. We can start to see now, hopefully, that you have what looks a little bit like a beak and what looks a little bit like a comb. And a rooster's comb is pointy, so we come in and just very carefully make it much more pointy on both sides. Again, you can see I'm keeping anything I'm proud of keeping hold of behind the blade when I'm using it. Okay, and on the top here now, what we're going to do is we're going to cut a sawtooth pattern. Very easy to do. Keep that blade nice and safe. Okay, so you can now see that we have a chicken's face. There's a little comb on top. We're going to make use of this blade once more just to give him a bit of a gobbler's chin. Okay, so we now have our chicken head, our little feet, and then this piece here we hold like so, and then we feather. And you may have seen me make feather sticks before in other videos, and this is what we're going to do now. So I'm going to turn it so it's easier for me. I'm going to carve these sticks towards you, but basically I'm keeping my blade flat to the stick. I'm going to push them down here, and once I get to the end here, I'm going to kick them a little bit. Okay. And there you have your chicken with his feathery tail, his skinny legs, and his little face. There we have it. We have our little rooster. He's a little bit of a poke face, but you get the idea, and the best way to actually get better at this is to keep practicing and keep using different things. So obviously you can, depending on the angle of the tail and stuff, you can make all sorts of different variations on this. But there you go. Remember, keep your knife sharp, sharpen it in the way that I've shown you, and if you're interested in learning more about woodland crafts or tracking or bushcraft, come along to one of our courses.